Anyhow, what we're saying is, last Sunday we talked about the places where the Old Testament gives us instances where God was with his people. You remember that? And he talked about like when people of Israel were going through the wilderness. Oh yeah, good. I think it's good. Yeah, clap for the media people. We almost missed someone if Moses was not here. Hey, makofi yako ni kama. Anyway, I think we can still move. Okay. So last Sunday we said that when the people of Israel were going through the wilderness, there was a cloud of fire that was leading them. We said that. And you remember we said that in the wilderness you cannot tell north from south or east from west. But really, they only needed to focus on the crowd, and the crowd would guide them. And that was God who was with his people, leading them, guiding them, and showing them the way. Are we together? Yes. We also said people like Joshua, when God gave him the opportunity to lead the people of Israel, it was not an easy task. And you know, Joshua had watched Moses leading these people. They were difficult people. And Joshua, when he's taking this responsibility, God tells him 9 times in Joshua chapter 1, do not be afraid. I am with you. That was God. Sometimes we are afraid. Sometimes we don't have the energy. But God was with his people. We talked about Daniel. You know, Daniel was in a culture that was not his own. And he was forced to do things that were against his God. And Daniel said, I would rather die. And he is even put in a den of lions. And what happened? God protected him. Is that true? Because God was with him in that den. Not mentioning, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and the many other instances in the Old Testament where God was Emmanuel, where God walked with his people, where God protected his people, where God promised, I will be with you, where God's presence was the only thing they had. And even when Moses and the people of Israel were at the foot of the mountain, Mount Sinai, and Moses cried to the Lord saying, if you don't go with us, tutikiuma haha mwathani utari na ithui, nito tutikihota gwitwara tutioe njira kuoguo no muhaka tware hamwe na ithui. We need God, because without God there is nothing we can do. Without God we don't know the way. Without God, and that's why he has come, Emmanuel, to be together with us. Amen? Amen. We're reading today Acts chapter 3. We're going to concentrate on that one reading in the New Testament. God with us now appears in the New Testament in the book of Acts. And the people of, the 2 disciples, Peter and James, they were going to attend a normal evening prayer fellowship at the temple. Mari mahoya makwa ila mathia matha kenda. Na hindio mathia mahoya ni maciori. Makiri wandu wa huthu. The disciples aya mari atagia thamaki, mari andu akawaida, mathai no tonga munene, no ne menda akuiga maundu maria moi ma witikio wao. And we see as they were going, they got to a gate that is said to be beautiful and marvelous and great. So you have from the reading. The temple was a wonderful place. Maybe better than the building we are using for worship here. Maybe better than all the other churches that you know and you can imagine of. The temples were huge, like this one in Jerusalem. Yake to miaka magana magana. Yake to na shumere cia goro muno. Ihigo cia gold na shumere ngitha cia goro. It was marvelous. It was beautiful. It will show the presence of God in that community. Nake Peter and James, as they were going to this temple, at the entrance of this temple, they found a beggar. And we're told, first of all, even before you move from there, can you imagine a big temple? Are you there? Beautiful gate, made of silver and gold. People are walking there in their numbers, walking in there to go and meet with their God. But there sat a beggar, hungry, hopeless, in tatters, without hope. And people were just passing by there. Not one day, all the days of his life. This young man, now he was probably middle-aged, he sat there. And all these religious Jewish leaders, but this man sat there. Does that click something to us? Is it possible that there are people who just sit at the gates of our churches, at the gates of our houses? Is that possible? And the entrance of where we go to work, right outside the banks. And you thought but what does that speak about our faith? We take your week to. A big question there. A big building. Yeah, temple. Yeah, but a poor person sat there for the longest, without something to eat, with a lot of problems, and maybe something needed to happen for that change to be able to be seen. For bad reasons, but also I think we have an opportunity to look into ourselves. Is it? We don't know come whether you are come out the machine or to call you at we take your way to new one kanaga. Emodega kugaha hitona ijema kigate. Idia ibiti tawavira woko. At somebody called many churches looking for help. But finally when this person called another religion, you remember that story? What was the answer given? Can you come to where we are, or can we come to where you or we come to where you are? Can you navitikio na Jesu gutukira no magakoro na impact in the communities we live in? No magakoro na mashiaro in how we do our things. All those things must be able to be seen, because those things are very important. Amen? My gadget has worked. Say amen. Amen. Say amen again. Amen. Yes, I was struggling. Now, this is what they're saying. That all at the beautiful, magnificent, and expensively made gate sat a hopeless, broken, sad, hungry, and tattered beggar. And every day, people carried him there so that he could beg for money from those entering the temple. And yes, there are still people without